Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Mac, this is Let's Play Oxygen Not Included. As it will be in this episode, last episode we spent a lot of time working on our self-powered oxygen maker. We do actually have the capacity to start priming our heat bank for the whole system. It's just that we haven't quite finished with all the piping over here. Once we get everything through and through there, and I think we should probably tune up the construction requirements here so that it happens faster. It's going to be a very long time pumping over all the oil, and I have to focus and keep track of how many times I've pumped the oil through. Understocking the oil isn't too bad. We'd like it if there were more, but it's not the end of the world if we can't hit the number exactly. The problem is that if we overstock it, then it's actually going to overflow, and remember, this is all super hot oil. We don't want that to happen. On the upside, we are actually making quite a bit of progress on getting the rest of it set up. There's still things to dig up and build, but we're getting there. Eventually, though, we are going to have to go and figure out how we're going to get that massive stock of hydrogen into the spawn. It's Liam's break, of course it is. We have new productions. Okay, mouth breather. That's double oxygen intake. We don't want that. Ethanol. Sure, we could use it for something somewhere. Nicola has very nice interests, but his traits just aren't what I'd like. And May. I don't want to go overboard with duplicants before I have my oxygen system set up properly. Like, eventually we're going to set up bases on other asteroids, and it probably would be better to start getting their population now and have them fly over by rockets. But as it is, I need sustainability before I go for extra production. I also probably didn't bring up the fact that I've actually started giving people snazzy suits. It's part of an achievement, you know. Downside is I can't always be sure who is on what planetoid, so I can't tell from a glance. Hello, what's this? Have 8 duplicants wear non-default clothing simultaneously. Pretty easy one, honestly. Definitely no carnivore or super sustainable. The steam is gradually condensing down over here and filling out the pool. Almost there, almost there. We've got a bunch of little pufflets. That's nice. I think the one thing that I really haven't been considering, and it might come back to bite me, I really don't have the elbow room to set up massive bedrooms like usual. Because just about anywhere that's left is either too far away from the central corridor and the base over here, or it's digging into areas I'd rather not spice up. Little line open, please. Now the important thing to keep in mind here is that it's not perfectly stable, rather the amount of hydrogen that goes in is a little bit more than the whole system uses up, so eventually you're going to get a buildup of hydrogen and it's going to start leaking into these pipes down here. That, even though we are actually going to use a lot of the excess hydrogen and use it to power this system when the steam isn't enough, it still won't be enough to perfectly keep the oxygen out of these pipes, so that we will need some gas element checkers in these pipes. Okay, we have enough iron, we can stop this system. They're just a little bit cramped, but the point wasn't to get the eggs, the point was to get the iron. Algae supplies still aren't looking good, but at least we aren't down to double digits. Ooh, we have a lot of balloons now. And yet, you don't need those balloons. What is with this graphic? I imagine it's going to be a lot easier for this stuff to condense once we get rid of some of the excess water. Actually, I should probably check that. We get roughly 1,500 grams per second of water out of this steam vent when you add up all the downtime and emission rate. So, So it is enough to feed an electrolyzer non-stop. We have 2 electrolyzers down here, but the thing with this is they aren't running 100% of the time. No matter how well you build an electrolyzer, it's just not going to be able to work it's going to overpressurize it at least a little bit of the time. Which means that it's okay that we don't have quite enough, and besides, If we really desperately need more, we can just hook up this system, run it down here, run it through these pipes, and then put it through a water sieve and have it connect to this insulated pipe again. And that'll help add up. Ooh, seed analysis is complete. Exuberant. It needs 250 reds per cycle. It is 4 times faster than usual, but it needs 40% fertilizer usage. And here's some catches. It's also going to produce 4,000 grams of rot pile, and the food poisoning on the crop is going to be 10,000 germs. It absolutely needs darkness, and it doesn't drop seeds. Except it's sleet wheat, so of course it will. I'm sure sooner or later we'll bring over the seeds. Or he's hard at work. Ooh, the gas pipes are now completely empty. Can we at least say that this is finished? Yes, it is. Okay, so we're going to start shipping over the oil. Send over 500 kilograms of crude oil. I'm putting that in my calculator. It's the best way to store numbers. And just forget about it and come back later. The important thing is that we need to force all this carbon dioxide out. We are going to install a bunch of metal tiles here to aid in the heat conduction, but the problem is that if the crude oil is just being... If we put the metal tiles in before sending in the crude oil, some of the carbon dioxide is going to get trapped in it and reduce the capacity that we can work with. Part of me kind of wants to put a few algae terrariums down here. But honestly, with how long we've been working already, they probably won't add anything. Get these doors open as well, let us work in peace. Yeah, honestly, algae terrarium. It's about time. Going to leach from our water reserves quite a bit though. And actually, wait. Show me the numbers again. Algae terrarium, 30 algae per second, 40 oxygen per second. 550 algae per second, 500 oxygen per second. So it is actually more efficient, but it also uses your water supplies, so in the long term it wouldn't be. I actually have seen some science, so random topic, but when you're dealing with oil reservoirs, you can pump all of your... People have actually figured out the exact calculated efficiency of having all your... Okay. Sending another 500 kilograms through. We're now down to 3,350 oil, but slicksters do actually make for more efficient ways of producing oil if you're considering water in comparison with the amount of food that comes out of it. So it's kind of complex, but if you consider you pump X amount of water into a bristle blossom farm, but you could also pump the water into the oil reservoirs, change it all into petroleum, into whatever it is that you need, and it eventually goes back to water. You pump it all the way back to the oil reservoir over and over again, with it needing to put a little bit more water into the system in order to make up for it not being a 100% conversion back rate. If you start ranching slicksters for converting the carbon dioxide, they do actually make for great ways to make your base more efficient. It's a huge mess of numbers though, don't ask me to recount it off the top of my head, I can't. How much more oil have we gone through? Okay, another batch of oil pumped through. We have to be ready for when this starts radiating heat upwards. You know something else that I saw that was kind of bafflingly impressive? People usually use radiant pipes to transfer heat about for cooling things, but people have actually used igneous rock grinding on conveyor rails because it is actually more rock. That's mafic rock. Do we have any igneous about? Specific heat capacity of 1, perhaps, but it's a lot less likely to overheat and evaporate into steam, isn't it? Okay, I feel like this system should be off for a while just to let other power get its legs back. We have cobalt, there and there, and then a bit more igneous rock. We're going to gradually fill this area up because an atmosphere like carbon dioxide or heck, definitely a vacuum, isn't going to be very good at transferring heat between the radiant liquid pipes and the radiant gas pipes. But if we encase it in metal, that's the extreme temperature range swing of metal tiles. That'll make it very efficient at converting the heat from the gas into heat in the liquid. And I'd say the pipe is ready again. 2,350. Tummies are a bit rumbly, I think. quickly. Let's just ship a tiny bit of granite. Yeah, we ran out of sedimentary rock. Whoops. Okay, set this system back. Actually, I wouldn't feel very good about sending sedimentary rock straight across, but... You just gotta ship as much fossil over, I guess. Which is why we have eternal construction of fossil over here. I see you're busy storing everything. Should really look into hollowing out this area so we've got a faster way to get about. Okay, speed it up a bit. Oil is ready. Ship equals 1850. So here's my mental question right about now. Where would I like to build a rocketry platform? Because I have to keep in mind that anything directly under it is going to get superheated. So nothing that... we don't want this ice biome capstone to be it, for example. But I also need to leave enough room for rockets to actually land on it. Well, at least Liam's hard at work at expanding our assets over there. Oil should be ready. $13.50. Steve has a skill point. What do we research Steve? His field research. And right, we haven't picked anything for Catalina because there's nothing interesting to pick. Honestly, it might almost be worth getting art fundamentals on Liam here, because even though suit sustainability, he has Masterworks decorating. Could tidy the place up a little bit. but also need a mechatronics engineer. I guess that's what we should put Catalina on. Oil is ready, oil is ready. 850 to go, so we're almost there. This is slightly starting to boil up, but it's not too bad, as long as nobody takes a bath in it or something. And, okay, next time we have to fine-tune that box. Ellie's skill point. Suit sustainability, why not? So actually, I think I should point out that the way that these skills work, the suit sustainability training gives you 2 athletics and it slows exosuit durability damage. So anytime they use one of these machines, be it the Atmos suit dock or the oxygen mask dock, they take slight damage over time. The way that skill works is this one slows the rate that they take durability damage, whereas this one removes that -6 that you usually get when wearing exosuits. So it's very nice to have. Plus it also gives it +4 athletics for just reaching the end of that branch, which is also nice. The faster you move about, the faster you get things done. Okay, now we change this to 350 reset amount. And now I need to think about how I want to handle these pipes. Oh, darn. Hey, get there quickly. I'm worried that this area might be bricked off forever. Oh, new printables. Building, doctoring, but you have noodle arms, that's kind of bad. Suit wearing and building. You have super duper hard digging, but you have bottomless stomach. Suit wearing, rocketry, grease monkey versus agriculture. Digging and rocketry, preferably with Lona, is what I'm keeping an eye out for. Yeah, just get an oxyfuran out here. Actually, I think I've got enough oxygen down here. I need to disable these buildings because I don't know whether it changed, but I recall algae terrariums being notorious for they overpressure with oxygen, so they have no off limit like the algae oxidizers do. Time is up now, but before we start running all the crude oil through these pipes, because this can't be regular liquids, it's got to be oil for the higher temperature swing rate, for the higher evaporation rate, we're going to need to finish building in here before we start piping all the oil through here. Yeah, here comes another batch of oil. And that is it. We should be done here now. It actually might have been a mistake to give a bit of oxygen down here after all, because now... It might be a bit tricky to get the hydrogen we need down here. Anyhow. Time is up. I want to finish building down here before I properly sign off. I'm sorry. It's like... I don't want to forget about it and come back and wonder, what was I doing? Oh, also, algae. Algae is in trouble again. I guess it's their time off. Yeah, this is when our two builders are off duty. At least we've got plenty of diamond. That's going to come in handy for setting up a few temp shift plates. Joshua could go into rocketry, but we were going for the suit sustainability, right? You really need to find somewhere else to be, buddy. Oh, at least the sun's having a good day. Don't build that quite yet. Just set it up, but don't work on building it until we've delivered the cobalt. This is all a big mess and we've gone over time. Part of me is thinking I just add a little hot wire for these pipes here and use that to give us the water that we need to set this up. But part of me is also thinking, why not just take a bunch of ice and drop it here? And actually, while I have attention, we need to finish that off. Finish this. Finish this. And that will seal off our temperature system. And it does look like it's in perfect order, so let's hope so. Right, so what this gas pump here is for, and it's steel specifically because it's going to be in a very high temperature environment, this is going to completely empty this place of atmosphere, so we know specifically how it... At the moment it's a mix of chlorine, oxygen, carbon dioxide, all sorts of stuff we really don't want to deal with. We're going to pump it all out before we insert the water into the system. That way we know 100% this is only going to have steam in it, because we're going to be dealing with very high temperatures. Cute trick. If we build a cobalt tile here, it's immediately going to take that sandstone ladder, it's going to take the sandstone for that ladder and drop it right here, nice and tidy like, so we don't have to worry about any strange things in the thermal aqua tuner room. Almost there, so I guess end the episode. Until next time, guys, take care. We'll see you all around.